ready. But like I was saying, I've I tried to see if I could copy it from the MacBook to the
Uh-huh.
phone, but in order to do that, I had to get like Snapchat Web, and I don't want to do all that. That's that's too much. So I was like, I'll
Oh,
hand type it, but I don't know. I must have not done it right. Must have forgot a letter or something, and so I just said, you know what, fuck it. I guess ID and shit like that.
well, I
We're
clicked
here.
the link and then it like said it didn't work and I was like, what? So I was just like, just send me the passcode or whatever. So I just downloaded Zoom and did it like that.
That's probably maybe it might have been a lot easier because when I try to go to invite, it says copy invite link, copy invitation. I don't know if that'd be the same thing.
I thought it
And
would be too. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, we're here now. Are you in the bathroom?
Yeah, I went in the bathroom because my siblings are out there and I didn't want them to be screaming around.
Oh, let's say I'm like I don't know
They're
if I
really
caught you.
hyper today.
Let's say I'm like I don't know if I caught you at the right time. Just want to make sure.
No, no, it's fine. I told my stepmom, I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. I have a Zoom meeting to do. She said, okay.
Damn, we really don't. What, you didn't think it was gonna be this fancy or what? With the mic and shit?
Definitely not with the microphone. No, definitely not.
This is that.
But I
This.
also was kind of nervous too, just
I
because I
told you
feel like
don't be
we're,
nervous. I told you don't be nervous. I
I
told
know
you.
it. I don't know.
It's different once it happens, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like, I don't know. I think I'll be fine. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, you should. I mean, you'll be all over YouTube, the true YouTube, YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora,
I've seen that your
uh,
Spotify's popping.
Amazon, um, a bunch of other ones that. But the three most popular ones are Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. Well, I guess
Really?
kind of Pandora as well, because still a lot of
Let's
people
see.
use Pandora. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, I used to go heavy on this, like have a bunch of. I don't know if you really ever even saw it, but I would get like a fuck ton of guests. Like I try my hardest, like every to push out an episode every week, and just grab as much guests as I could. But a lot of the people that I was grabbing, I like to do it in my style, which is more kind of like we're friends, like we're talking. This is just like if you're sitting down right here next to me and we're just fucking around talking and just talking
Yeah.
about shit. A lot of the people that I was doing made it,
Yeah.
and I understand. I mean, they do podcasting for a business. Like that's like they do it as a
Right.
job. So they would kind of take it in a serious way where I mean, they were more they're more wanting an interview type like episode rather than just like a convo.
That's where I would get awkward, I feel like, because I do not do well in interviews. Like, it's just like the pressure of questions. Like, when you're my friend, I can answer questions like it's nothing. Versus, like, if we're just doing this and I really don't know you or anything, I'd be like, who the hell are you?
Yeah, and I mean a lot of the people that I would try to get, I mean I would try my best to do some research to look into
From
who they
here.
are, what they do, whatever.
Mhm.
And I try to find questions like that and just kind of ask them. But even then, my thing is, if we are comfortable enough in the first 5 minutes to, and we're talking like we are friends, then I know this is gonna go really smooth. But
Right.
if you want more of a question, like an interview type of podcast, like from the get go,
Mhm.
I'm like, this isn't gonna be good. If 5 minutes in, I can already tell like when are the questions gonna start coming. I'm like, well, now I'm gonna like, well, I can already tell we're not gonna
It's not going to
click.
be very, like, not only that, but I feel like as listeners, who wants to listen to an awkward ass interview, basically? Like, nobody, nobody. I mean, I
Exactly.
sure wouldn't waste my time listening to
That
that.
because
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
yeah. 'Cause, I mean, if you listen to a podcast, and I mean, yeah, I mean, there's people who do the interview style really well, but even then, when you still listen to them, you can still tell they're trying to connect with the with the actual guest, and so
Right.
when you don't connect, you're gonna tell. The audience is gonna tell. You're gonna tell, and it's gonna be awkward because I had some where I'm like, I don't know how to fucking talk. to these people
Right.
because not only do I not
Good.
know them, but they are wanting more of an interview, and that's not my style. And my style is like we're here. Yes, we can. I'll still ask questions, but we're it's just like a sit down conversation. We're talking like you're here chilling with me. We're at a coffee shop. We're chilling. Make you comfortable. Make you just like we're talking, and then
Right.
it kind of goes from like right now. I don't even know how long
Right.
we're
Yeah.
into
I
this
mean, but we've never really been awkward either. Like,
exactly.
but I
So
also feel
it's
like I am not an awkward person. The only way I ever get awkward is if like the person trying to start the conversation starts off awkward. Then I feel like I do get really awkward. But
yeah. If I just immediately said, "All right, bet. What's your body count?" You'd say, "What the fuck? Why do you want to know?"
yeah, like
You're like what the fuck? But
right. Yeah.
well, I mean,
So
welcome to the show. I have rebranded it like twice now, three times. No, twice. Because the first one was
that's
the Broke Boy show, and then the second one was the Of Course show, and then now I just said, you want fuck it, I'm just gonna use my name. So now it's just the Marco Martinez show, because fuck it. I mean,
well, I'm a
you
guest. What up?
and you're a guest at the beginning of the year, the start of
Yeah.
2024. Because literally on Monday, because I was gonna drop this Monday, on Monday
Uh-huh.
it is the 1st of January. So
I
you
know that
are.
feels so crazy. I feel like 2023 was such a crazy year for me.
That was probably one of my
Definitely a
worst
lot of
years for
ups
me.
and downs, but graduating high school, like that was my biggest, like, yes, I did it. And then obviously I didn't go to college yet, but I will. But also like the job that I have now, like I just love old people and the job that I have, like I said, I don't have a CNA, I don't have a medic, and I'm still making bomb ass money and I go to
Mm-hmm.
work all the time and I love it. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely had a lot of up and downs this year. A lot
Uh,
of learning, definitely. I learned a lot.
well, I feel like you have been a little bit different from when I first met you to now. Um,
Yeah.
like honestly, a little bit different. I mean, when I
Is that
first,
a good thing?
well, like I guess. I mean, I will come. No, no, no. Hold on, because like I don't even know how long I ever even like fucking asked about you. Like the first time I even messaged you was I know it was way long ago,
It
and
was a long time ago.
you were still in what Scotts Bluff or whatever the hell that wherever
Yeah,
you were
I
at.
was still in school
Yeah, you were
the
still in
first time you
school.
ever hit me up, like to be friends or whatever. I mean, obviously, I had known of you because we were in some classes together, and you were one of those seniors that was always like talking down on the younger classmen, I guess, and I was quite younger than you. But
Yeah, I mean, hell,
yeah,
for what was it, summer school or when was it? 'Cause I think it might have been summer schools uh, because when I was working, I believe was it? I'm confused with your whole bloodline. Is it your mom or is it your stepmom that I worked with in the
my
elementary?
stepmom,
Yeah,
yeah,
stepmom. Yeah,
she's a preschool teacher over there,
yeah. That's yeah. 'Cause I remember
so
working with her, and then I know so technically it's your stepsister then, Sierra.
they're my half because we do share the same dad.
Okay, so your half sister Sierra, I remember she would, she'd chill with us, chill with the teacher. Not, I wouldn't say teachers, just kind of like the workers here and there. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's how I knew about you. And obviously, you were in the same grade as my cousin, so I
yeah,
knew of the people in that grade because all you guys, because when I was a senior, you guys were in middle school, and so
right.
I knew I
Right.
knew
And
most
we
of you
had
guys.
taken band. Yeah, you were in band, were you not? For a little bit. I swear. I thought you
I
were
think
in
you were in
band for
choir. I did choir my senior year. Band I stopped after middle school, and by middle school you were not in middle school.
no, I don't think so. For some reason,
I
I don't know. Maybe I'm
I was
thinking
in
of someone
choir.
else. But
Yeah,
maybe it was because we did like the Mac trips together and stuff like that.
yeah, I think that's what it was. Cause I think,
Yeah.
because that's where I also
When
would
I was
see.
in middle school, they had made all those rules to where only high school went. So when I was in middle school, I was still expected to perform and play with the high school.
hmm I remember
Yeah.
that. I mean, cause that's where I kind of saw you and Sierra. Cause yeah, Sierra still went to military, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I saw you and Sierra grow, plus my cousins, because again, you guys were all in the same grade. And so I was
Right.
like, damn, I mean, Weird to see Anthony grown. Weird to
Right, dude,
see
your sister
enemy.
has gotten so big too.
My sister's gone here on the
She's
11th of
gotten so
January.
tall and just
She's almost my
her
height.
pretty long hair, dude.
She's almost my height, and she's gonna be 11.
Really?
I'm like, how the fuck are you
That is
11 my
so
height?
cool. I know, dude. I'm the oldest in all of my siblings. Every single one of them is taller than me, and I'm just like, how?
That's usually how it is. My brother, he's the oldest, and he's the shortest.
Yeah,
Well, technically my sister right now, but from seeing the growth of my sister, I'm gonna assume Miguel will be the shortest
right.
because by 11, I mean I was probably Kayla's height by 11, maybe shorter. I don't know.
I remember when Kayla was just so short and sassy and just
Yeah, because
she
again,
didn't care.
you guys were in the elementary. Yeah, you guys were in the elementary when I would work there sometimes for the summer. So
Right, right.
that's where I was at with my sister because it worked out because I worked because when my mom would work during the day from 8 to 4, I'd work at the
We're
school from like 9 to 2 or whatever it was. I'm there with her, getting paid for it, and then I'd go home, legit
with
bring
her.
her, go home with her, and then right there, my mom's got a babysitter, and I technically have a job. So
Right.
even though
Yeah.
they paid me 9 an hour, I'm not gonna be mad on that. But
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
no,
But 2023 has definitely been a baller year. 2024, I'm so excited for it. I'm just so ready.
2023, I'd say, I don't know. It's
I
between 20.
definitely like the start of the year was probably the hardest part of the year for me, I think, just because there was a lot of relationships to learn, people to figure out, and that was
And you
definitely a
moved
hard
too.
part. I did. I moved, but moving out of Scottsbluff was definitely like the most relieving thing I've ever did.
I
I
think
would
for
say because
everyone.
I just felt like when I was in Bluffs, I was partying and I was just doing everything that I should not have been doing. And um, I don't know. After I moved, I felt like I just got happier. It definitely sucked not having my friends here with me. But at the same time, I mean, it's not like we don't talk every day, like they know
Mhm.
that my phone's always on, I'm always here. But it definitely sucks getting those phone calls and hearing like, "Hey, when are you gonna come home? Like, come home already." It's hard. It really is. But at the same time, they also understand like this is where I'm happy and this is where I feel like I can actually grow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, when I left, guess you can say military. When I left there, moved to Lincoln, I mean, it's a whole different world. I mean, it's because I go back. I'm like, well, this is different.
Right.
It doesn't feel the same going back. Like
Right. It
visiting,
doesn't.
I'm like,
Eventually, like I feel like no matter where I go, I will always find people that are like good for me. But I feel like more like I mean, I don't know. I don't think that I'm being distant with anybody. However, I feel like if you're not healthy for me, now I'm at the point in my life where like I will cut you off and I won't feel bad because this is for my well being and my doing.
mm-hmm,
And so like the people that I do talk to, for example, like you, April, anybody that I talk to on a daily, like in my opinion, like you're really lucky to have that spot because at the same time, like I really don't associate with people like that anymore. And I'm not in high school anymore. So it's not like I could just boom, I have friends now. No, like now I really have to work and find them. And lately I haven't even been trying. Like in Cozad, I still know only a handful of people.
mm-hmm.
And I talk to two people every day. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Definitely growing more for sure.
I mean, that's how it is. I mean, me being graduated 4 years ago, which seems like a long ass time, and everyone that I have graduated with, I don't talk to a single one anymore.
Really?
Not a single
I
one.
still
And
talk to Aaliyah and Jasmine. I talk to them occasionally. Other than that, I don't talk to anybody that I graduated with.
same. I don't talk to anybody at all. Like ever since we graduated, it felt like everyone just kind of just cut ties. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yes. You start living life the way you live life, the way you want to live it. It's everyone starts
Right.
living it the way they want it. But it feels weird because I'm like, well, shit, I graduated with you guys. And none of you guys talk to me. This is
Right.
weird because then
Right. And
because then going back when I come visit my parents, I'm like, this. place doesn't feel the same anymore because everyone that I knew, well, that I thought knew, none of them talk to me. So it just feels like I'm here.
Right.
I'm here just being here. I'm not here for a purpose
Right.
there.
And
I'm
like
and it just I don't know.
I believe, I completely believe in soul ties. Like, I think that me, Aaliyah, and Jasmine, in high school, like, those were my girls, and they still are my girls. And I honestly think that that is a bond that will never break. I think when something big happens to us in our lives, like, they're going to be the people that I immediately share to, like, Jasmine immediately shares to, Aaliyah immediately shares to. And I'm so grateful for that because, like, when we were younger, man, we did not get along for crap. And now, like, graduating and watching us, all three of us mature together has
Mhm.
definitely made like a major impact, And when I felt like I literally had nobody, and even sometimes when I do feel like that, like, I know that those girls are just one text away and they'll be right there for me. When I need somebody to cry to and to rant to, they're always there.
Mhm. I mean, lucky for you to say. I don't really. I mean,
I
I
hope that bond never breaks, at least. I mean, I cherish those girls to the death of me. And like I said, I really don't like females. I am not friends with a lot of females. I cannot stand girls. But those two definitely have made the most major impact on my life, for sure.
mhm. I mean, and it's weird how a lot of the people that you did grow up with in high school, like you'll see some of them and you're like, wow, what the hell's going on with you guys? Like, why?
Right, right,
Like, and I mean, I'm not there to judge anyone that starts a family, that gets married. I mean, each their own. They want to do it young, this early, go ahead.
right, right.
But sometimes I'm like, again, I'm not trying to bash on anyone. It's just in my opinion, I would want to live life a little bit in my 20s until I really want to say, okay, it's time to really settle down with this person. It's
I
time
think that
to finally have a kid with this person because me personally, I want to be financially stable or not just financially
that's
stable, just
exactly how I see it.
get
I want to
finan
be able
just
to say I could support me, my husband, and my child that I bring into this world. And
mhm
if I can't do that, then no, I don't want to welcome anybody into this world. And I'm really big on like, I will not like, I am so big on staying protected during intercourse and all that, just because, I don't want to have a kid young. I
mhm
do want to, when I turn 21, I do want to party and not have to worry about finding a babysitter. Um, and I don't know. I mean, right now, the love life for me is definitely on a pause. But eventually, when it does come, I'll be ready. I think, hopefully. I don't know.
hope hope that's the thing. Hopefully.
What I mean?
That's always the big one is the hopefully.
Right, right. Yeah,
Because
definitely.
because I mean even then with talking about the whole settling down with people and whatnot, even then working on yourself on any way that you can is also going to be a benefit because if yes maybe you financially you have that freedom in a way, but you're still an asshole inside or whatever the case may be. It's going
Right,
to be hard to
right,
really it's going to be really hard to maybe settle with someone who's going to say, well, I don't like that you have anger issues. You may be making some money, but you're you're a complete asshole. And I
right.
mean,
Exactly. And I think that, like, right now, I mean, I have a little situationship going on, I guess. I wouldn't really say it's getting anywhere, but a little tea time, I guess. Started
go
off as
ahead.
a little sneaky link, and eventually feelings were caught, which I had already had feelings for him prior, but then he became my sneaky link, and that was definitely like, wow, like, am I really doing this?
Hmm.
And then, like, his jealousy started to show, I guess. Like, he'll, for example, like, we're not even together, and he'll go on my phone and he'll Snapchat people, whoever he wants. He doesn't even care if you're a guy or a female, he's gonna Snapchat you. Um, and it's stuff like that where, like, I don't really mind people being in my phone at all. But for
Hmm.
him, completely, it's just like, I don't care that you're in my phone just because I know I have nothing to hide from you. And he does have really bad trust issues.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's like a reassurance thing. And I know some people are probably going to be like, that is so toxic, girl. But it's also, to me, it's like a reassurance thing, like I am reassuring you that I have nobody, whether we're talking or not. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not, okay. Yeah, when I was a junior and a senior in high school, heck yeah, I had hoes. But now, I don't have time for that. I don't. And so that's why I say, like, right now, like, it's just on such a hold because I'm not completely ready to be like, yes, I can give you everything when he has his own crap to figure out. But he's also been like playing a little game. Like some days he'll act like he wants me, and then other days he'll just like blow me off and act like I don't matter. So I like in the beginning, I really did care, and I really was like, ooh, that was a little salty. And now I'm just to the point where like do what you want. Like you are a grown man, you can figure this out yourself. Do as you please.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and
And he makes me kind of feel like an embarrassment, I guess. Like his friends will ask about me and him and he'll deny it. His sister has asked about me and him, he'll deny it. He'll be like, she's not my type. She's ugly. Like, she's just not for me.
goddamn.
But like, and then I'll confront him about it and he's like, well, I have to say that to cover it up. Cover what up? Why? Because if you're embarrassed of me, I know there's somebody else that wouldn't be. Like,
Exact. That's
so
always
I don't
the.
know. It's
That's always a tough one.
definitely so confusing right now.
That's always a tough one. I mean, with stuff like that, it could also be that you're not the first, that you're just the second, and or you're just a choice, and so because of
Exactly.
that, and let's say
So,
one choice is I don't know,
like,
like slim thick. Oh, they got this, they got that, and then you're just a choice. You're like, oh, she's just one I hit up here and there, just my little sneaky link, and it's
exactly.
kind of like, well,
So I
now.
got them like, okay, so the other day, he was on my phone, and my biggest thing is if I give you my phone, I have rights to yours.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, well, give me your phone. Well, he had told me that he stopped talking to this girl because I don't like her. I do not. And it was only because like the first time I ever met her, she gave me like a dirty ass look. And I was like, girl, like, I don't know what your problem is, but you need to pipe down. And I didn't say anything to her, but I mentioned it to him and I never hung around that girl ever again. Well, he told me that they had stopped talking one time and I had caught him lying because I seen her Snapchat pop up on his phone. So I was ignoring him and he was like, what's your problem? Like, why are you mad? And I said, you're lying to me. And my
Mm-hmm.
biggest pet peeve is like, you know what? You're either going to tell me the truth or you're not. But I promise you, I will find out and I will be 10 times more upset when I find out versus when you tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you tell me, like, that shows me that you care enough that you're going to let me know. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're lying to me, it literally, like, it makes anybody look like they're covering something up. And I don't go for that.
Yeah.
So the first time I had caught that, I told him, I was like, why are you lying to me? And he was like, lying to you about what? And I told him, like, dude, I'm not an idiot. I seen that pop up on your phone. There's no need for that. Like. Well, then the other day, I had gone on his phone again, and she was second on his best friends list. And I looked at him and I was like, stop lying to me. And I handed him his phone. I got up and I walked out of the room. And he was like, what are you talking about? Well, he wanted me to help him wash his blankets, which I had no problem with. But he was like, will you go see if the car's here? And I was like, no. I was like, you can. And he was like, what's your problem? And I said, my problem is that you still feel like you need to lie to me. I said, when you don't, I said, I don't lie to you about anything. I don't have a reason to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so I don't know. Definitely. And then obviously we're still in like the sneaky link phase, I guess. But the other day he had asked to fuck. It was on Christmas. He had asked to fuck and I said no. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm done. And he said, are you really, like, are you for real? And I said, yeah, like, if I'm an embarrassment to you, if I'm an option to you, you can move on forward and just go on with your life. Go find somebody that wants to put up with it. My night, he was extremely drunk, and who was taking care of him? Me. I'm always doing everything for this man. And he was like, well, I've only been with you. I haven't messed around with anybody else. And I said, yeah, but there's so much more that I could say that I do for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually holding it down and you're not. And so lately, like I said, it's definitely been really confusing. because we have been fighting so much. And then on top of that, his two best friends had caught feelings for me. And he yelled at me like it was my fault. And I said, dude, I can't control their feelings. Like, their feelings are one sided. Just because they like me does not mean that they are going to get my attention back.
Yeah.
I will still talk to them like they are my friend. I will still respect them. But I can tell you right now that I do not have the same feelings for them. Well, thankfully, his other friend didn't hit me up. Thankfully. But I do know about it. And so lately I have been like getting kind of distant with him. But his other friend, you know, like he's genuinely a cool ass person.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had to let him down like 5 times. And the first time I was really nice about it. But then after, like, when I tell you more than 3 times, I'm going to start being rude about it.
Yeah.
So finally, I just kind of had to be like, look, dude, you are just my friend. I only see you as my friend. Well, then he kind of threw it in my face. Well, guys are only friends with you when, okay, okay, that's the most I can eat. Oh, yeah, insurance is expensive. But I was like, God, what was it? Oh, and so finally, like, you know, he understood, but then he was like, guys are only friends with girls who are girls are only friends with guys if they're ugly or if they have a girlfriend. Because no guy ever just wants to be friends with a female. And I think that is straight bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I think guys are also like, okay, they have a couple guy homies, but I think that the best friendships come from the opposite genders. Why? Because a female's head and a male's head are so completely different. They see things so different. So when I have guy friends and I'm going through my guy problems, it feels good to go to a guy and be like, dude, I need to tell you this, and to hear their feedback, because 7 times out of 10, like, they're thinking the same thing that that other guy is thinking, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's definitely very confusing.
And speaking about the whole, how you said about the guys and the girls see things different, you know, a lot of the times girls may respond using their emotions, while guys may
Right.
respond may see things as using, you know, being logical about it. Because if, like how you said about the whole phone thing, you may think, oh my god, like this and this, and the guy's like what are you talking about? It's legit my cousin that you probably don't know or something, and then you're like, oh my god,
Right.
I overreacted. And like with me, I don't even I on this shit, I barely even text anyone. Literally, like this phone is always fucking dry. And on like if I post, and like, you can look back at my posts on Facebook, Instagram. But it's I don't post on a daily. My story here and there, Snapchat, barely on my story. But it's been, I mean, it's since childhood. But with my privacy, it's always been, you know, disrupted sometimes. So like I don't know, like every time I feel like someone that will ask about my phone, like, well, can I see your phone? I genuinely have nothing to hide, but I'm always like, well, why? Like it's like my privacy, and I'm just like, well, you know, why? And some people will see that as,
That
well, you must be hiding something. I'm like, no, genuine, literally, look at my messages. Like literally, you can look at any app. I don't, I don't talk to anyone. I don't silence notifications. Like right now, like I barely. A lot of this are
yeah.
all just ads, like the Amazon codes and
Right.
stuff like that. And it's like,
Well, and on top of that, like, I think, okay, because I'm not going to lie, I do have like really bad trust issues, but it's not like I will give somebody my trust until you give me a reason not to trust you, you know?
mm-hmm,
No matter how bad. Like, I mean, in the beginning of the year, I was definitely in one of the worst relationships I have ever been in. Like, it was going through the phones and accusing me of cheating 24/7. And at this time, like when he had came around, I wasn't looking for a relationship. And I thought he was a weirdo. Like he was sliding up on my Snapchat stories. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like,
mm-hmm,
well, eventually, you know, I gave him a chance. And in the talking stage, I remember he had gotten drunk one night and he was sending me videos of him wrapping his arm around this girl. She was wearing his hat, and you know, and I left him on red. Why? Because I'm not gonna say anything. You do you, boo. Like, we are not dating. We were just talking. But in my opinion, like, when we're talking, you need to lock it down. You are not available because right now we are in a pending relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just left him on red, and I remember I had a volleyball tournament the next day, and so when I got home, I just went to bed. Well, I got a Snapchat, and he was like, "Babe, what's wrong?" And I was like, "Oh, nothing, like, oh, you really don't know? Are you dumb?" So the
Mm-hmm.
next day, I had left him on Reddit again, and he was like, "What's wrong? Like, what did I do?" And I said, "Dude, it's the fact that you don't even know." I said, "You don't remember anything that happened last night?" Like, he's like, "No." And I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you." I was like, "But after this, like, that's your final warning. I'm done." So I told him, and we we continued on talking or whatever. Well, then we finally started dating, and then he cheated on me another time. This guy was trying to get with me, and I had told him who my man was at that point, and he was like, "Oh, did you know he tried to kiss so and so?" And I was like, "Okay, this definitely could have happened before we were dating." So I was like, "When? Like, what are you talking about?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was like a week ago, and I said, "Whoa, okay," because we were already 1 month into this relationship. Like, hold on a second,
1 month in
and
and all those problems already?
yeah, exactly. So I was already a red flag. So this girl, random girl, and she added me, and I added her back because that name of the girl is who that guy had told me it was. So she added me. She was like, "Yeah, nothing happened, blah, blah, blah." Then immediately she texted me again after I was like, okay, thank you for letting me know. She was like, "Okay, never mind." She was like, "He was telling me not to tell you what happened. Basically, he was drunk. She wanted a spoon to eat her fruit cup or something. And he had gone out to the car and was like trying to kiss her and a bunch of shit. And she had him blocked on Instagram. And he texted her and he was like, "Please don't tell her anything stupid and I'll get you some pods for her knit."
Mm-hmm.
And that immediately should have been like, "Really? So now you're gonna bribe her to not lie to me, like,
Yeah.
to lie to me or whatever?" But then again, I gave him another chance. Well, then the final month in, we had made it 4 months, talking for three, so we were basically 7 months in.
Mm-hmm.
The final month, I remember this like it was yesterday. I was sitting in Spanish. Actually, no, the night before I had gone home, and somebody had told him that I was cheating on him.
Mm-hmm.
So he had gone through my phone, like he had my Snapchat password, everything. It backfired on him. Why? Because I had nothing to hide. Well, then the next day I was sitting in Spanish and I was on Instagram. And you know that I'm not really active on Instagram, but I am on it often.
Yeah.
And I said that I had a requested message and I had looked at it. And this girl, she was like, "Hey, you're so and so's girlfriend, right?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah. Why? Like, what did he do now?" And we had already been pretty rocky. And basically she told me that he had sent her best friend, which is his next door neighbor, a dick pic, was trying to get a hold of her to go hang out at like 3 in the morning. And I'm
Jesus.
sorry, but that's already sketchy. Like, why are you wanting to hang out with another female at 3 in the morning?
Yeah, especially at 3.
Yeah, exactly. So I had confronted him about that, but the way I did it was just like the baddest bitch move. So we had just been having a calm conversation. Mind that I'm texting this girl on Instagram. He has no idea. I screenshot the messages and I send them to him. And he was like, "Well, what is that?" I said, "I don't know. You tell me. What is that?" And I said, this girl's over here telling me that you were trying to hang out with her best friend and blah, blah, blah." He's like, "No, that was for my friend. We were drinking one night. He wanted to hang out with her. It was over Facebook." That is not Facebook messages. Those are Instagram messages. Try lying to me again, please, because I know my social media.
Mm-hmm.
And that was definitely just like the breaking point for me. And I remember I had gone to my mom and I was like, "What do I do?" Like, and she was like, "Girl, like, you just need to call it off." She said, "This is the third time, like, you have been giving him so many chances. You have been trying to keep cool about situations." So I did. I cut it off February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day.
I'll keep continuing. Oh, I
Oh,
thought.
okay.
Oh, and hold on.
Um,
Before you keep continuing, because I know I got a notification about how it's I think the
I got a
max is like
notification
40
about
minutes
how it's
of recording. And I think
Oh.
I
it's,
think the
I don't
max
know
is
if it's
like 40
per
minutes
Zoom
of
meeting
recording. And I
or
think
just
it's
per
I don't know
recording
if it's
session. So I
per
was trying
Zoom
to
meeting
like
or just per
restart
recording
it,
session.
but I think it is
So I was
per
trying to
Zoom
Oh.
meeting. So I don't know if
like
I have to just
restart
invite
it,
you to a
but I
new
think it is
one
Oh.
per Zoom meeting.
and
So I don't know if I
just like
have to
and
just
record
invite you
it
to a new
because I
one
can upgrade, but
and
I don't want to
just like
upgrade. I don't
and
want to pay for
record
it.
it because I can
And
upgrade, but
so
Yeah.
so I'll tell you when,
But
and then no, and then probably redo it.
okay.
so I'll tell you
Okay.
when, and then
But
and then probably redo it.
and so the next day, he had already had a girlfriend on Valentine's Day, and I was still getting over the heartbreak. Like, I really went through hell to be with you. So he had gotten this new girlfriend, and he had given her everything he bought me for Valentine's Day, which to me is like a clown. Like, really, like, girl, you're drooling over that, but that was what he was gonna give me until I left.
Yeah.
And the hardest part was I was already so
Yeah.
close with his family, and I had wanted to break up with him like a month prior to that, but his little brother and me were so close, and I couldn't hurt his little brother's heart. Well, months go forward, I'm single and blah blah blah. Well, then it happens that I move out and I move in with his cousin, and we were gonna be roommates. And finally, his other cousin had come over, and she was like, "Hey, dude, like your ex girlfriend's here." She takes a picture, sends it to him. Like 2 nights later, we end up drinking and partying together. Well, he had put his hand on my thigh when we were in the car, and I was drunk. I was pretty freaking drunk, and I think he thought that was gonna make me go stupid. But when he did it, I didn't mean to yell it as loud as I did. But I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And everybody in the car looked at him, and I felt so bad. But then I looked at him and I was like, "Don't touch me with a girlfriend." I said, "You will not do another female how you did to me." Well, then he was like, "I don't have a girlfriend. Like, me and her, we broke up and blah, blah, blah." Well, she cheated on him. So I looked at him and I was like, "How does it feel?" Honestly, like, how did that make you feel? I said, "Because what you feel is exactly how I felt." Well, I had ended up giving him a chance, but then it just got more and more toxic, more and more. And finally, I called it quits and I moved away just to be sure, like, I will be done with you because I'm doing better for myself. And then it happens that he gets a hickey from another female while being in a relationship. And his cousin's my best friend. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, girl, thank the Lord that you left when you did, because if not, that would be you. So I don't
That
know.
is fucking
And now I
crazy.
think that kind of, yeah. So now I think it's carrying a lot into, like, now I'm so scared of relationships and getting into them. And I think that's carrying, like, a lot from that is carrying into my little situationship, because I feel like more and more he's giving me reasons not to trust him. But why? Like, why are you doing that? Because you know what I don't like. I told you my pet peeves. I told you why I am the way I am, and you're still doing it. And so that definitely, I don't know, relationships are definitely a touchy subject for me because I'm so scared of them. And I don't want to be with somebody who's very uncertain about me. Like, you're either going to be all in for me or you're not, but it's not going to be no in between. And I think that my situationship is trying to make it like an in between, and it's not. It's not going to be that.
I can feel the heat right now. The heat is
Yeah.
turned up. Holy shit. The sass in your voice right now. I can hear that
Exactly.
shit right now.
your voice right
Yep. And,
I can
like,
hear
this is
that
not
shit
stuff
right
that I
now.
haven't told him either. Like, I have made it very clear. Like, I am not an option. If you want me to be an option, I'll show you how many options I have.
Oh shit.
Because it's not like dudes don't hit me up, like, people hit me up, but I don't give them that same energy back. Why? Because I know what I want, and I'm not for everybody. I am not easy. No, none of the above, I don't know. Definitely very rough right now. But my biggest flex is that his parents have told him numerous times, like, dude, just be with Brisa. Like, she has the great, like, she's just the greatest person ever. And his dad is so hard to get along with. But he's told, like, can you hear me?
We're good. I did not think it was gonna just cut it off. Because you were just speaking and then bam, then it just
And
goes
it was like,
away.
bye.
I was like, hold on. I thought it would. I thought it was just recordings. And then when I was reading it, it says meetings.
And then
Like, just
when I was reading
it
it
just
says meetings.
calls are 40 minutes max. I'm like, well,
Just calls.
I did not know that. I thought it was recordings.
Yeah, well, now we know.
I did not know that. I
But,
thought it was recordings.
But continue.
The
I know
first
you were
time
talking about your
his
his dad being
yeah.
hard to
Continue. I know you
get
So
along with.
he's like very hard to read and to get along with. He's very loud. And the first time ever, I remember we were sitting outside and my little situationship had gone inside. And I was still sitting out there and I was like, man, how am I going to leave this awkward situation? Like, I can't just get up and leave. Like, that's disrespectful. So I just sit there and he was like, you know what? He was like, you and Blake would be very good together. He was like, I'm giving you the green light. He was like, just right now, he's in his player phase. And I was like, oh my lord, like, did you just say that? And ever since then, like, you know, I've kind of had hope on that part of it. But at the same time, like, he is so hard to understand, so hard to read, and I just gave up doing it. And now I think that he's kind of like more like, is she really gone or what is she doing? And I love leaving him clueless because that's how he made me feel. And I was just like, how does it feel to have that in return? I know you don't like it because I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't like it because I didn't like it.
Definitely touchy.
I could tell.
Definitely touchy.
I could tell it was touchy for you. I could tell it
Yeah,
was touchy for you.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm just going around talking to whoever I can. No. But he does get really salty when like people do hit me up. He's very like, ooh, who's that? And half the time, like, I don't even know him. And I'm just like, oh, thank you. And
half the time,
he sees how I respond, and he just, I don't know.
He sees how I respond.
Yeah, imagine him on the one where I just asked.
Imagine
you want to be a guest on the podcast? He probably say, "Who the fuck is this?"
You want to be on
Like,
you want to be a guest on the podcast?
It's
He
a
has
podcast.
asked before. He has. He was like, who is that? And I was like, oh, it's my friend. And like, but he did see the podcast thing earlier, and he was kind of like, what? And I don't know. He didn't understand, but he doesn't. He's just. He's lame.
He didn't understand, but
they'll hear it on Monday on New Year's.
Yeah,
on New
I'll
Year's.
tell him to like go listen because I just spilled all the tea about us.
Yeah, then he's. I don't know. What if he gets mad saying, "What the fuck? Why'd you speak so much?"
I don't know. What if you get
it's out in the world to hear.
What the fuck? Why'd you speak?
And there's no stopping because he's the one that posts it, not me.
And there's no stopping because he's the one that posts it.
I don't know.
That's his show.
Or like what people know. But right now he's just like protecting his best friend. Both of them, I guess, and I hate that. Like, just because they like me does not mean I like them back.
I hate that. Like, just because they like me
does
not mean I like them back.
I mean, hey.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. And how are you liking Kozad though so far? Other than the people, the people that you live with, are they just friends or are they like siblings? The people that you live with, are they just friends?
My stepdad has been my dad. Like, that is who I call my dad because when my dad wasn't there, like, he had raised me, he taught me how to walk, he was changing my diapers, like, that is my dad. And so I live here with him and his wife, and then there's two little siblings that have gotten added to our big group. So yeah, I live here with them. But I love Kozad. I love how people mind their businesses here. Nobody's really like bothering you, and I love it. I love it so much.
I love it.
I can't do small towns. I mean,
I cannot do things.
I can't do.
Lincoln's a good sized town for me. I would not mind even going bigger. That's why I was like, when I want to look into like Colorado and Utah and just like places like that, I would not mind going big. But more still in a smaller town environment because I mean, I've been in the Omaha traffic. I've been in the downtown Denver traffic. And I'll tell you, it is disgusting. I hate it.
Dude, Denver gives me so much anxiety.
I hate it.
Dude, Denver.
But it's a nice. I mean, but it's a beautiful place, though. There's
when
a lot of
nighttime, I love it. It is just so pretty.
There's a lot of opportunity when it comes to big towns, big cities. There's a lot of opportunity. But it also just depends on your niche. I mean, if you're more in the trade school, so electrician, plumber, welding, whatever, you're gonna find great opportunities no matter what size town. You're gonna find great opportunities, but me wanting to tap into real estate, but real estate's gonna be better in big town, bigger cities than a small town, unless you know your people.
Right. What made you even go into real estate?
funnily
Right.
enough,
What made you even
I
go
didn't even
into
think
real
about real
estate?
estate until I got here, and I
Funnily
just
enough,
watched a YouTube
I didn't
video
even think about
by the
real
name of
estate
Graham
until I got
Stephan.
here, and I just watched
He
a
just kind of
YouTube
talked
video
about it, and I'm
by
like,
the
you
name
know,
of
I've
Graham
always been
Stephan.
wanting to
He
know
just
what
kind of
real
talked
estate
about it, and
was,
I'm like, you know, I've always been
and
wanting
now I
to
know what it
know what
is.
real estate was,
And
and now I
because
know what it is.
obviously right now is just more in the realtor
And
stage,
because
and then just kind of move
obviously
up
right
to
now
actually
is
start
more in the
owning
realtor stage,
buildings.
and then
But
move up to actually
no,
start
it was just
owning
interesting. I was like, I don't know what the
buildings.
hell real estate is. Now that I actually know
It
what
was
real
just
estate
interesting. I was
is,
like, I don't know what the
I'm
hell
like,
real
oh,
estate
be
is.
seeing a
Now
lot of
that
the
I actually
back,
know what real
like the
estate
backbone
is,
of it, like
I'm like,
the
oh,
back of
be
it. I'm like,
seeing a
oh,
lot of the back.
this is nice. Like you
back
go to
of it,
Walmart, you
like, the
just it's
back of it.
Walmart,
Yes.
it's a
Oh,
store.
this is nice. Like you go
But
to
now
Walmart,
that now
it's
actually
Walmart,
being
it's a store.
in the
Now that
business, I'm like,
actually
that is a
being
building
the
with a company
in
in
the
it
business, I'm
that
like,
is
that is a
profiting a
building
fuck ton of
with a
money.
company in
Right.
it
And like
that
any
is
second
profiting a
now,
fuck ton of
like
money.
that real estate, that
Right.
building
Like
and its
any
land
second
is
now,
worth a
like
lot
that real estate,
to
that
buy it off,
building
and these
and
guys
its
are
land
never
is
going
worth a
anywhere
lot
compared
to buy it
to
off,
like
and these
the
guys are
mall.
never going
That
anywhere
mall it just
compared
had
to
stores,
like
but it's
the
so dead
mall.
in there.
That
Like the
mall
one in
just had
Scottsbluff, it's like it's so
stores, but
dead
it's
in there
so
that
dead in there.
I honestly don't know
Like the
how
one
they're
in
gonna
Scottsbluff, it's like
how they're
it's
gonna
so dead in there
function.
that I honestly don't
Because
Right.
know how they're gonna.
I mean, yes, it's near a college, but when you have nothing to
Because
Right.
offer, when you got
I mean, yes,
Harbor
it's near a
Freight, if you're
college,
near
but
a
when you have nothing
college,
to offer,
why are you
when you got
offering Harbor
Harbor
Freight?
Freight, if you're near a college,
Offer like
why are you offering
because my
Harbor Freight?
plan,
Offer
because
like
I was even
'cause
thinking
my
about it. I'm like,
plan,
fuck, if I had the
well,
money, I
because
mean,
I
I'd
wasn't even
probably
thinking
buy
about
that
it. I'm
whole
like, fuck,
building,
if I
that
had the
all that
money,
real estate,
I
including the
mean,
Papa
I'd probably
John's
buy
place
that
and
whole building,
Kmart,
all
and
that
put like
real
a
Right.
food
estate,
court
including
in
the Papa
there,
John's
a food
place
court
and
with foods that
Kmart,
actually like
and
name
put a
brand
food
foods,
court
and
in there,
try to put
food
stores,
court
but
with
that's
foods that
so
actually
very
like name
risky,
brand foods,
knowing how
Very
many,
try to put
popular
stores, but
stores,
that's
though,
so
you know?
very risky,
But I
especially
heard that
near
it
high
has
school and
gone
college.
right. I heard that it has
especially
gone so
near high
downhill
school
just
and
because
college.
it costs so much to like rent in there. But I think that like the nail spa in there, like nobody really even goes there, and they're still doing it very successfully, you know. And I think that I don't know if you want it bad enough, you'll make it work. But I think that they need to put more trendy stores in there, like Hot Topic. I mean, Route 21, Forever 21 Players, like stuff like that, where like it will actually get somewhere. Because I mean, like the Dollar Tree, like that was just set up there, and it has literally launched. That
Because it's a
Yoshi,
store we needed.
right? That yogurt place. I mean, that place literally has launched too. Like they have so much deals there. Kids love frozen yogurt. You know, they make it so kid friendly, but not only that, but like a teen vibing place. I don't know. I think that it just has to take more people to make it work there.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I mean, the Panhandle, it's weird. You have to cater to the. It's more so on the brand and you, because if people know you, but what you're doing is not really attractive, you may not. I mean, maybe because I've seen some people that guess you can say popular who are doing nail technicians, and they're making some pretty good money because people know them, people trust them. But if you're not really well known and you want to be a nail tech, that's going to be a lot harder to tap in, especially since the person next to you is already like people love them because that's just how they are. You're
Right.
like, well, now it's gonna.
And I
it's gonna be
think
hard
that's
for
where
me to
social
continue.
media plays a big
Now it's
part,
gonna be
because
hard for
I
me
think
to
that social media will allow you to launch and put yourself out there to an extent so much, like your work is now out in the world, like people are now noticing you, and that's where it becomes important.
I mean, and even then, I mean, I don't mean, like, with being a realtor, I have seen a bunch of people post and post and post, and the problem with a lot of that, it becomes very saturated, meaning it gets just clogged with a lot of people saying the same thing. Where call or text me if you want to buy a home, call or text me if you're trying to sell a home or whatever. And
Right.
when you see that over and over again, people are like, it's the same thing. And
It's
that's
the
where
same thing over and over and over and over and over.
and that's where you have to be different. That's where the marketing comes in, where you have to be different, where you have to know how to make yourself stand out. So yes, you can say the same thing, but if you start rewording it, or maybe you start being more on the social media side of things, where you start doing a lot of like day in the life, or the great get ready with me's, or just
get ready with
no.
me.
You know, that's crazy that you say that because I have wanted to start some like vlogging and just some get ready with me just because, you know, like when I'm getting ready for work, half the time I don't even want to get ready. But when I do, like
Right,
I don't know. Yes, exactly.
Right, let me-
And I mean, there's so many times where like, I mean, I post TikTok videos and I have stuff on there, but I have wanted to try some vlogs just because I feel like I am the funniest person ever. Y'all have peeped my TikTok, but I feel like I am so funny and people would think I'm just hilarious.
there you go. I mean, even with me, I want to start tapping into vlogs and posting it on YouTube and stuff like that. Kind of just like the journey, just like my real estate journey. Like not really,
Yeah.
like yeah, if I get sponsorship stuff like that, cool. But it's more so kind of like you're seeing a story. You're seeing someone grow up. You're seeing you see the start of it, where you see the start of a just of a business where you see the struggles, you see the hardships, you see the times where I may have a mental breakdown crying because I'm like, well, shit, I've made nothing, I've done nothing, this and this, and my anxiety, and then but then you also see a lot of successes of, oh damn, this year I made a 200K because it's been a really great year, and then people can look back and say, wow, this guy started 5 years ago making nothing and mentally
Right.
and like crying
Right.
himself to sleep. Now this guy's doing something, and so it's like with me, it's kind. I want to do it more like a story. So then,
But I
people
think it's also like an inspiration thing, you know, because like I mean, even like I'm not very, very like so far in life where, you know, like it's a big old flex. But I definitely have come a long way and matured so much. And I think it's like an inspiration thing, like, hey, don't worry, you know, and especially as a female, like I don't I mean, I don't really hide like my how do you say, like my problems in life, I guess I don't really hide it. I am very private, but like I think that it allows people not to feel so alone. Like girls will understand, like, hey, you know what? This isn't the worst thing ever because Brisa's going through it too. Or, you know, and like that stuff, that's just very important to me.
exactly,
I don't know. I
because
was just telling my friends today too, like, guys, you should have a vlog. Like, let's start a YouTube channel. And both of them looked at me and they were like, no. So they didn't like that idea, but I'm definitely going to enforce it.
go fucking do it. I mean, it'll be awkward, but I mean, it's a start of something. Every
Right.
time you're gonna start something, it's never gonna be the great. Because just look about it. Look at it from when you first start to a year in. Your friends may start saying, "Oh shit, okay. I mean, we see you making some progress. Like okay, like maybe you went from 0 to 5 views average, and now you're getting like 30 to 50. Okay, people are noticing you, and so like you know, just like with mine, with how you said like in the motivation in a way, where people can look at it and say, well, you know, whatever they want to do, whether it be, you know, anything in school or business or whatever, and they see that and they see, well, this kid went through the same exact struggles. You go back, this guy, you go back to my first podcast episode. This guy had a shitty mic. This guy didn't know what he was talking about. This guy didn't know what he was doing. And now, you know, years in, you hear and it's like, okay, it sounds a lot more professional. The audio sounds a lot more clear. His vlog started just with his iPhone now. I'm not saying I have get a whole production team, but you see, you just see the glow up, the grow up, and then
Right. And I also
also
think that like another thing that's like really important when you're vlogging and when you're putting your life out there is you need to be real. Don't cover anything up. Don't like I think that you need to have just that pure like this is exactly what's going on. This is how I feel about it. And I mean, like I said, like there's some things that I would never put on the internet, but at the same time, like as a female and as a male, like we both go through different struggles daily in life, and I think that I know for a fact that I'm not the only person going through it. But I think it allows other people to have the reassurance, you know?
Yeah, I mean, then like, why do you think a lot of people that say a lot of motivational shit are popular? Because people need to hear it But I mean, I know it can be corny, it can be cringy. I completely understand because I have watched some videos. I'm like, okay, this is really cheesy. I mean, I'll be honest, pretty cheesy. But I mean, they're popular. The weird reason why they're popular. Sometimes people just need to hear it.
You know,
And
one thing that I like go back and listen to when I'm going through a really rough time is Medea. It sounds crazy, but when Tyler Perry is playing Medea, I think that so much stuff is said that comes out of her mouth where people miss. But when I need that like motivational quote or like just a little push to go on, Medea just cracks me up. You know, she's very blunt with it. Very like, girl, get up. Like, you don't deserve that. Do better for you, you know? And I love Medea to death. But a lot of stuff that comes up on my TikTok is a lot of motivational stuff, which I appreciate, you know. And for a long time, like when I was going into like really depressed state where I just pushed people away from me left and right, I had motivational quotes popping up on my phone every day. Just because, you know, like that allows you to have a little push and go in your life. Like, you know what? Yeah, you do have this today. You do got this tomorrow, you know. But I'm also like, I think my mood really depends on the look good, feel good method. Like, if I look good and I know I'm going off today, and that's going to make me feel good. I feel very powerful in that moment. Like, girl, you are bossing it up today. Like, I think that is a common, like, look good, feel good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, completely agree with you. I mean, some of my TikTok, my For You page just can be filled with motivational shit. I read books. I wouldn't say motivational, just kind of ways that can help me grow. One called Atomic Habits, learning how to control your habits and learning how to actually do shit in a way that can get you, can keep you on track on habits and shit like that. And I'm like, hey, I mean, happens like I'll tell you a quote right now that I came up with. Just kidding. I saw what's his face. Gordon Ramsay say it, but it's nice though. It's just something about be prepared when the storm comes and learn how to dance in the rain. Because
one that like really touches me is like, you can't have the sunshine without the dark clouds, and that like that really like touches me different because you know, like there is days where I'm like, ooh, like people are pissing me off. Today has been the worst day ever. But you know what? There is days where you are gonna feel like absolute shit, and you're not gonna want to do anything, and people are pissing you off left and right. But you know what? You're gonna go through days like that. But at the same time, think about those days where the sun did shine and you were having a very good day. And I don't know. I'm a very like inspirational person. I definitely
nighttime doesn't last forever.
Literally, and I used to be so negative, so negative, Nancy. Like life sucks, people are shitty, and now I definitely like. Okay, when such bad situations happen, yes, I do like look at the reality of it. Like this happened, that was shitty. Now I'm fucking pissed. But at the same time, like look at the reality of it. But at the same time, I have definitely gotten a lot more positive. Like I don't let little situations bother me as much as they used to. Like at all. Like I'm very like, ooh, that one sucked. Move on.
Like that stove was hot. Now I learned
definitely
not to touch that again.
The other thing that also has like, okay, so recently I had heard a little rumor that one of my homies, I guess, was talking crap about me, and I didn't even confront him about the situation, nothing. Well, the other day he had texted me telling me something about somebody that I used to talk to, and I was like, well, that's not my problem. Like, I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. It is irrelevant to me. And he was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And he understood. But it's not like I was doing it to be an asshole. It was just more like, don't bring up something to me that doesn't matter to me anymore. Because in reality, I'm over it. I don't care.
Because in reality, I'm over it. I don't care.
I don't.
I really had a lot to rant today, though. I could tell.
Really had a lot to rant today,
but I mean, yeah, I mean, you in a way, once you once you get older, at some point in your life, you have to start seeing things.
Once you get older,
Honestly, differently. You have to start rewiring your brain. Where it's kind of like, we're growing up. It's time to grow up. Where it's kind of like, we're leave that shit in the past. Like if let's say you start working on yourself, you start trying to grow out of whatever phase you're in, and let's say you have friends that don't want to move with you, you're like, okay, well, I'm tired of, I don't know, being a bum. I don't want to be a bum anymore. I'm tired of partying. Like it doesn't do anything for me, so I don't want to do it anymore or do it as much. And then if they get pissed or they don't want to follow with you, you're like, well, this tells me you don't want growth. You don't want to see me grow, so it's time.
Right, and I think another thing to me is like, so lately I haven't been feeling like I have been having to force people to stay in my life, I guess. And that feeling, it genuinely sucks, So I did start to distance myself from a lot of people. And I think that shows you a lot, because when I distance myself from you, you'll notice it, but it's the people that still continue to text you every day, that still continue to make sure that you're doing okay in your life. Shit like that shows through so much more. So that's why I'm saying, like, the handful of people that I do talk to and that I do share personal things with, like, that's how you know, like, I appreciate you on a different level, because lately I have been distancing from everybody, but people are still managing to show that they are still there for me, and I think that just shows where those connections are going to go farther in life than those little, a year and a half friendships where, like, we talked here and there, but it really didn't do anything,
Exactly. I mean,
it's better.
I'm kind of interested to see what'll happen in the future. Just like a lot of the people that, I mean, I distance myself from everyone. I mean, I don't. It's just because I don't talk to anyone. But some part of me kind of wants to see how, in our 10-year high school reunion, if I go meet some of my old high school people, to see who will really be like, oh yeah, what's up, man? How you been? Come say, you never once checked on me. You never once even fucking said shit to me. Why are you talking to me like we're friends?
We're literally, exactly.
Why are you talking to me like you have not?
Literally, exactly.
I'm not gonna say names, but this person came to Lincoln because I guess her job required it and whatnot. And we chatted for a little bit. Stopped by the hotel, not in the room. Went outside and just chilled by the fireplace and just talked about life. Just kind of talk about how life has been and shit. And I have not talked to this person since graduation. And then right after that encounter. And then after that, doesn't talk to me anymore. Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought we were chill. I was like, I appreciated that conversation we had. Hell, I was gonna probably invite you. Like, if you're gonna be here, I was gonna invite you to the podcast. Obviously, not in the apartment. That's always hard. If I want to invite people in like here with me, the hell do I say? Oh yeah, come to my apartment. Where it's in my room. Where in my room, I have a mic. I have two mics I can give you. How the hell? Does that not sound weird to say, come to my apartment where it's in my bedroom? Come to my apartment where it's in my bedroom. And so I was gonna try to invite her, but leaves me on red. I'm like, well, but guess fucking. And then even with when I first was starting the podcast, I was messaging Facebook Messenger, DMing, Snapchatting people to try to get some on, and a lot of the people that would say no or leave me on delivered or leave me on red. I'm like, okay, I thought we were cool, and now you don't even want to. Like a lot of people that would just say, no, thank you. I'm like, well, that's good. A lot of people that would just say, no, thank you.
Haters gonna hate.
Well, that's good.
Haters gonna hate.
I'm like, it's just a podcast. Like, I know we don't really talk, but let's talk now.
It's just a podcast. Like, I know we don't really talk, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I know it's also because maybe they just don't want to. They don't want to do it because they don't like seeing themselves talk. They don't want to hear themselves on a conversation. It's like, well, just know it's going to be posted everywhere, so anyone can hear it.
Yeah.
On Monday, the legit. Your
You can
folks
hear
at
it.
home can hear it all over
Monday,
Spotify,
legit,
can
your
hear it all
folks
over
at
Apple
home
Music,
can hear it all
I know
over
Pandora.
your
Spotify, can
Spotify
hear it
is
all over Apple
popping with
Music.
the podcast. I
Pandora.
was definitely not surprised, I would say, but definitely like, wow, like he's definitely getting somewhere with this.
I mean, hell, you can hear. I don't remember what episode is it. Like, you'll be able to hear how my mic changes from like a robot-y weird mic to this bad boy. 'Cause even if you hear the one I posted on Christmas, yes, I cried. Like, it was a deep one. Yes, I cried. But when you hear the audio, you're like, damn, that's crisp.
Yes, I cried.
Like,
But
I'm,
when you hear
Yeah.
the audio, you're like,
like,
damn, that's crisp. Like,
oh,
But that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. It's like the
Like,
deep
that's-
personal stuff that like really like shows people like that you're genuine. You know, like
Yeah.
you're not putting on a fake for social media. I mean, I never have been like that because you know what? Like I don't have nothing to be fake about. Like I'm a genuine human. I go through genuine human things. I'm a female in today's generation where it's hard. Like, but you know what? I mean, I think that like social media is a way for you to share your struggles and for people to hear you out.
and you have to be genuine. Just like with the vlogs and people, and with how I want to develop, you know, my whole real estate journey. I want people to see me and say, "This is all genuine. This is him." Yeah, he's awkward at
Exactly.
sometimes, but this is him. Because
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I talked about it before, but with like YouTube, I'm more of a YouTube person than a TikTok person. That's what I grew up with. YouTube is starting to push out more entertainment content rather than genuine content. Like people who are just trying to get the money, get views for money, and so they're trying every way they can to make it entertaining and to keep your attention rather than just seeing the vlogs, seeing just like I still watch some gaming channels. And even sometimes I'll see how they cut it, how they transition, and I know
Right.
they're just trying to keep it as genuine as possible. How they trying to keep it as entertaining as possible. I mean, and I'm like, you know, I sometimes miss the authenticity, missing someone that I can connect with and say, you know,
Right.
yes, I was like that or some shit like that. But
So
Right.
one
I
YouTuber or YouTubers and content or TikTok creator that I like really am fully 100% into. Shout out to them. It's CJ and Aya. They are a couple and they are the most like genuine people ever. I feel like they definitely like they show you what happens on a daily life. I mean, Aya's boyfriend, he's in the military, you know, and she has to struggle with him being away a lot and all kinds of things. And I don't know. I mean, I don't watch him as much as I used to, but they definitely still have my heart just because they are very genuine with the way they feel. And the connection between those two, like, I feel like it shows you what a relationship should be like. Like, you should look at your significant other the way that Aya looks at CJ, the way that CJ just admires Aya and just appreciates her for every little thing that she does. And that's how relationships should be. So I don't know. I'm like fully invested into them. I always like probably for about a year and a half now. I mean, I first seen them on TikTok and I was just like, what? Like, I don't know. Definitely.
I mean, that's how I am with the podcast. I mean, even on some episodes, I don't know what the hell to talk about, and I'll just talk about whatever the hell's on my head right now during that time. And sometimes it can be awkward, but it's like, hey, it's genuine. It's him being him. That's just how I am.
Right.
Some of them you'll see me go in. Some of them are 8 minutes long, and it's just me saying, yeah, my day was good. Yeah, work was kind of shit, but other than that, day was good. I genuinely don't know what to talk about. That's just who I am.
I genuinely don't know what to talk about.
But
that's just who I am.
Hey, I gotta go shower. It's almost time for me to go. But
all right.
Hey,
it's almost time for me to go.
Thanks for being
All
guests.
right.
You're the first
You're
guest in a very
welcome.
long ass time. In a very long time. So we'll be starting off 2024 strong with a guest.
We'll be starting off
2024
strong.
So like I
with
said,
Yes. All right. Well,
it's
have
gonna
a
be-
good day at work.
oh, thank you. It's gonna be posted at 8 in the morning on Monday, so it'll be ready all day.
in the morning.
So your folks
Definitely
there,
send me the link because I will probably forget.
Your folks
Definitely
there.
send me the link.
probably.
because
Yeah,
I will
I'll just.
probably forget.
I mean, I would
I
probably.
want
I'll
to listen
just
to
copy.
myself talk.
I mean,
You want to listen? You want to listen to yourself rant?
just copy the.
You can listen
Yes.
to it. You can hear
listen to
it.
yourself rant.
Whatever the case may be,
You
I
can
will.
listen to it. You can hear it.
Once it gets
Whatever
posted,
the case may be.
what do you use more, Spotify or Apple?
What do you use more, Spotify
Apple Podcast, or I guess Apple
or
Music,
Apple?
but Apple ecosystem.
Um,
Podcast, or I guess Apple Music, but Apple ecosystem.
Spotify, I would say. I'm always on
Spotify?
Spotify.
Spotify.
Spotify,
Alright,
I
well,
would say.
well, even then
I'm
you could
always on
probably
Spotify.
still just
Spotify.
because on Spotify.
Well, even
I'll
then
show
you could
here,
probably still just
really quick.
Because on Spotify,
If you just search up the Marco Martinez show, I'm gonna pop up. And you can always follow me. You can always
I
follow me.
will
so
do
then
that.
you
I
can
will
always
do that as
follow
soon as
me.
this is done.
Always
I
follow me.
will do that.
That way
I will do
then
that
you
as
will
soon as
see
it's done.
when it comes up.
That way
You will see
Perfect.
when I get it
comes
posted.
up.
So
You will
then
see
that way you can
Perfect.
share it
when I
all
get
you
it
want. You
posted.
can
So
have your
then
folks
that way
listen
you
to
can
it.
share it all you want.
Whatever.
Yes,
Have
I
your
will
folks
share
listen
that
to it.
everywhere. All right.
Alright, bet.
Bye,
Alrighty, see ya.
guys.
See ya, see ya.
Bye.
Alright, bet.
Bye.
Bye,
Alright, see ya.
guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.